Wasserman Boxing is back with the main man, the British Super Welterweight champion, Josh Kelly. After a famous win in Newcastle against Troy Williamson back end of last year, he's back. He's taking on a very tough challenge, and he joins me now. Josh Kelly, good afternoon, sir. How you doing?
What's happening, brother? I'm good. I'm all good, Chris. All good, bro.
Good man. Gabriel Alberto Corzo is the opponent that you shall be facing. I want to speak about everything you've been up to in the last few months over the course of today, but let's start with what's coming up and the opponent. What do we know about him?
He's unbeaten, bro. He's unbeaten. He's ranked number 10 in the WBO. He's coming to win. He's a tough opponent. I mean, I've boxed undefeated opponents for the last 3 fights. So another kid from Argentina was undefeated, then Troy, and now this guy. So I don't mind taking people's doors. They can go, bro. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it. Get back to the Northeast and put the show on. We got Sunderland playing at Luton today in the second leg, so I'll be watching that. So I need to tune in for that 100%.
Big games at the moment going on for Sunderland, both in the football world and in the boxing. It is going back to the Northeast. It's another WBO. It's another Super Welterweight champion. You're the British. He's a Latino Super Welterweight champion. He's got a good win record, like you say. He's unbeaten. He's got the 18-0. His knockout ratio is not the highest, which tells you he's a tough kid and can go the rounds, I guess. What do you doing to him on fight night? Are you looking for the stoppage, or are you thinking this could be a rounds filler?
Nah, I'm not going to put a show on, and I never look for the stoppage, but I am looking to. I'm not going to hurt people in there now. As he was on my man's strength's there. The last fight, I was hurting Troy a few times, so I felt as though I could have stepped on the gas, but I didn't really need to take that risk in such a high pressure fight. So this time I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna look to set about him.
Talk to me about that night against Troy Williamson in Newcastle. A famous night. It'll go down there, I'm sure. Boxing folklore in the Northeast now. But how did you, now you look back and reflect on it, how do you think about it? How do you sort of absorb and retain everything that happened that night?
It's a proud moment. The build-up was great. The atmosphere was electric. Atmosphere was unreal. And Troy's a good lad, and he took it on the chin and just moved on with it, really. So it was good. I just boxed the way I know I can box. I can be better than that. I can be more spiteful than that, and I can be better than that. But the game plan for that night worked out perfect. So I just want to see myself improving constantly in the gym, which I am, and working on adding new tools to the armory, and just keeping everything sharp. And this next fight, you'll see more improved, more aggressive.
Boxing famously is a sport saturated with cliches, and there's one no more than a happy fighter being a dangerous fighter. Against Troy Williamson, you looked like you were having fun in there. We've been editing clips and getting things ready for this promo campaign, and I'm just watching that fight back, and I'm seeing you moving. Troy's throwing 8-10 punches, and they're all missing, and you're waving the arms around while you're going. It's not just a sign of you saying, "Look, I'm in the swing of it now," and when I'm in the swing of it, you're just not stopping it.
Nah, yeah, mate. I've hit them sort of floor, like that floor when I was in there. I've hit it loads of times in Spawn, and even some of the best world-ranked opponents cannot really get hold of us or touch us. And I started just going to the floor where if you get to that floor, people find it hard to really get hold of us, and I can start to do what I want. But now I feel like I can replicate that. I'm replicating it in training camp. I'm replicating the mindset. I'm replicating everything. So I feel like I can just turn out them performances. I feel like this is the weight for me, is when I'm quick. I'm feel like I'm strong at the weight. I feel like the welterweight division, I was killing myself to get there. I was doing 14 pounds, like a stone in the morning of the weigh-in to get the weight. And I think the least amount I've ever did is 12 pounds, I think, on the morning of the weigh-in, which is tough. So, I think this time round it'll just, as a super welterweight, I feel like I'm comfortable, strong, growing into it. I'm naturally that size. I'm a fully fledged. I'm a bloke now, so I'm a man. So I know I don't look like Chris, but
And let me
30
tell you,
next
brother,
year.
you look you've got that man look coming through now. You've
Yeah,
got that going on.
nearly
Let
there.
me tell you that. You look like you're
Nearly there.
enjoying yourself as well, which is good to see. I see things on social media. I know you don't post over the top, but I see little things, and it looks like you're enjoying life a little bit.
Yeah.
Just to pick up on your comment there, then about feeling natural at the weight and getting that man strength coming through, etc. Does that mean? I mean, there's always obviously going to be certain offers that can turn heads, but more than likely now, is that the last that we've seen of Josh Kelly in the welterweight division? Do you think?
Probably the welterweight. I mean, you'd have to make a big offer, and it'd have to be like, I'd have to have weeks to train for it. I'd have to have like a proper lead up and get myself back down there. Because if I was ever going to get back down there, I want like a few months to try and make the weight properly, make the weight sensibly, and I'd still be tight, still be really tight. Like talking, I'd still be dropping quite a bit of weight on the morning of the weigh-ins and stuff. But to be honest, with me ranked number 2 now in the WBO, I feel like I'm in the Super. I feel like this is my division now. I sort of take over and sort of set myself apart.
So what fight? I mean, you know, I assume we're always going to say don't look over any opponent, don't look past any opponent.
No, never.
Should you stick to the script in this fight in Newcastle, and should you get the job done, do you have specific opponents in mind? The super welterweight division. Are you looking at those champions and thinking, I've got a time frame that I want to come and get you?
At the moment, I'm just going with the flow, Chris. There's some big names out there from like region from welterweight to middleweight, because people seem to be jumping up and down at the moment between these divisions. They just seem to be going up and down. So I mean, for me, it's like, let's just get this fight over, perform again. I'm just focusing on myself, and then the big names at the top of the division are always gonna have good performances. Always gonna start to look at you, and we can dance a dance with them boys one day. 100%. I'm confident.
How have you been keeping active since the Troy Williamson fight? Training with Adam, I assume regularly throughout, keeping that fitness level up.
Yeah, mate. I love sparring, so the more sparring I do, the better. I just love sparring. So if I could just run and spar, that would be my 2 things. I do. I like the pads, but the bag work and that, I just switch off a little bit in my head a little bit sometimes. So if I could just run and spar, that would be me. Run, spar, and golf. I think that's what I'm going to do when I'm older. But run, spar, and golf. That's key.
I was
But
going to say,
yeah,
you're missing the golf off there.
yeah. So that's it. Me, I've just been doing lots of sharpening, adding new things to the game every day, and I'm confident you're going to see the best version of me, even better than you seen last time.
Even better than you seen last time. Let me ask you, Josh, let me put you on the spot just before we go. If you were to look straight into the camera and speak to the whole of Newcastle ahead of your next fight and why they should come and watch you, why should they come out to see Josh Kelly, what would you say to them?
Mate, tune in, because it's a show when I'm up there. It's a show, put on a show. I try to interact with the fans as much as I can and the people up there, because it's where I'm from. I lived there for 16, 17. I was born there, lived there for 16, 17 years. I've only sort of moved away for boxing purposes in life. But yeah, just come and watch your show and the performance, because that's what it's going to be. It's going to be plenty of oohs and ahs.
It's what the Northeast is all about.
Yeah.
Josh Kelly, pretty boy, thank you very much for joining us. Can't wait to see you back out. It's going to be a hell of a show. Tough Argentinian kid, but we've dealt with them before. I'm sure we'll see the same again. Josh,
it's going to be a night to enjoy, I'll tell you that for sure.
Thank you for joining us again, my man. We'll see you in Newcastle.
Thank you, Bob. Cheers. See you later, Chris. Bye-bye, mate.